The cantina stank of smoke and old grease. Daniel Hale pushed through the haze, his jaw clenched, eyes scanning the faces under flickering lights. His coat was damp from a storm outside, his boots tracked mud across the warped floorboards. He ignored the stares. Humans were still rare this far from the core systems, and his presence drew suspicion like a magnet. But he wasn't here to make friends. He was here to find his daughter. 6 months ago, raiders had struck the outpost on Vera 9. They'd burned homes, slaughtered guards, and taken children. Daniel had been off-world at the time, running cargo. He came back to ruins, and a single message burned into the dirt. "If you want her, come find us." He'd been searching ever since. A dozen false leads had led him across backwater systems and pirate dens. Now, whispers told of a gang moving children through this port. His gut told him his daughter might be here. The bartender froze when Daniel laid down a photo on the counter, his daughter, smiling with missing teeth. "Seen her?" Daniel's voice was low, dangerous. The bartender shook his head too quickly. "No humans here. You're wasting time." Daniel's hand twitched toward the pistol at his belt. Before he could press further, a sound cut through the cantina, a muffled cry. From the storage room, Daniel moved before his mind caught up, shoving past a protesting server and kicking the door open. Inside, cages lined the walls. Small figures huddled inside, their eyes wide and fearful. Alien children, some reptilian, some furred, some with gossamer wings. And in the far corner, a girl no older than 12, her skin a faint silver blue, bruises marking her thin arms. Not his daughter, but someone's. Her eyes met his. She whispered, "Please?" The gang arrived fast. 3 brutes with shock batons burst into the room. "Step away from the merchandise," one snarled. Daniel didn't hesitate. His pistol cleared leather and spat fire. The first thug dropped, smoke rising from his chest. The second swung wildly, catching Daniel across the shoulder. Pain searing, but he powered through, driving a fist into the man's throat. The third backed away, raising an alarm. The children screamed as chaos erupted. Daniel turned to the silver-blue girl. "Can you walk?" She nodded, trembling. "Then move." He shot the lock off her cage, pulled her out, and together they sprinted into the storm outside. Rain pounded the muddy streets. Sirens wailed behind them. Daniel led her through alleys, doubling back, ducking under broken awnings. He could feel her hand shaking in his. Finally, in the shelter of an abandoned warehouse, he let her breathe. "What's your name?" he asked, crouching to her level. Her voice was hoarse. "Sarah." "I'm Daniel." He checked the street through a crack in the wall. "They'll be after us. We can't stay long." Sarah hugged herself. "They were taking us to the mines. They said no one would ever find us." Daniel's heart twisted. His daughter could be one of those cages, one of countless sold to cruel fates. He forced the thought down. Focus. Survive. "Do you know where they were moving you?" he pressed. Sarah hesitated, then nodded. "A freighter. Docking Bay 12. Midnight." That was his chance. They moved when the streets quieted, sticking to shadows. Sarah followed without complaint, though every sound made her flinch. At the bay, the freighter loomed, rusted, ugly, bristling with guards. Daniel counted 6 at the ramp. Too many for a frontal assault. He glanced at Sarah. Her eyes were wide, scared but steady. "You trust me?" he asked. She nodded. "Then stay close." He rigged a distraction, a fuel line accidentally sparking against metal. Flames burst, alarms blared, and guards rushed to contain it. Daniel pulled Sarah through the chaos, up the ramp, and into the freighter's hold. Inside, more cages. More children. Daniel's chest burned. His daughter wasn't here, but these lives still mattered. He shot the locks, urged the children out. Sarah helped, speaking softly in languages Daniel didn't know. The hold filled with the sound of small feet running toward freedom. Then a voice behind him growled, "You shouldn't have come, human." The gang leader, massive, scarred, armed with a plasma blade. Daniel shoved Sarah behind him.
"Go.
Run." But Sarah didn't move. "No, don't." The leader lunged. Daniel fired, but the blade knocked his aim wide. The pistol clattered across the floor. Sparks hissed as the blade slashed, missing by inches. Daniel grappled, every muscle straining. The stench of ozone filled his nose. And then Sarah screamed. Her voice wasn't just sound. It was a piercing psychic cry, raw and primal, slamming into the leader's mind. He staggered, clutching his head. Daniel seized the opening, driving a hidden knife up under the alien's ribs. The leader convulsed, dropped the blade, and collapsed. Silence. Only rain dripping through the hull. Daniel turned to Sarah. She was pale, swaying, her power spent. He caught her before she fell. "You saved me." Her eyes fluttered open. "You saved me first." By dawn, the freighter was burning. The children had scattered into the city, some finding their way home, others taken in by those willing to protect them. Sarah stayed with Daniel. He patched his wounds as best he could, grimacing at the burns. Sarah sat nearby, watching him with quiet intensity. "You're still searching," she said softly. Daniel froze. "What?" "For someone. That's why you came." His hands tightened. "My daughter. They took her. I don't know where." Sarah placed her small hand over his. "Then I'll help you find her. You gave me back my life. Let me give you something back." He looked at her, this fragile, scarred girl who had seen too much cruelty, yet still offered hope. For the first time in months, he felt he wasn't alone. Weeks later, whispers spread across the sector. Of a human who hunted slavers with relentless fury. Of an alien child who traveled with him, her psychic, cry-turning battles. Together, they freed dozens, sometimes hundreds. Daniel never stopped searching for his daughter. Each lead carried him further. Each rescue brought him closer. Sarah stayed by his side, not as a burden, but as a partner. And though the stars remained vast and uncertain, one truth burned steady in his heart. He might not have found his daughter yet, but he had saved someone's. And as long as he drew breath, he would keep fighting, until no child, human or alien, was left behind.